Mr. Andy Bern.
Can you hear me back there?
Yes.
Okay. As you'll see, this says session 3. There are prescribed sessions that we have set up to teach all of you. This is about establishing and supporting new clubs. Why are we doing this? Because of the mission, the values, and the future of Toastmasters depends upon these things. The first, and it's been said by many others, and you'll hear it again and again until you can repeat it in your sleep, the Toastmaster International mission is what? Hello? What is the mission? We empower individuals, become more effective communicators and leaders. District mission. How does that relate? What is the district mission?
Achieving excellence.
The only thing I couldn't get is that bouncing ball so that we could be synchronized. And we all know the club missions. And here is one that you may not know, and that's the International Envisioned Future. When you look at the 2015 strategic report from Toastmasters, they talk about their new vision. And that vision is that Toastmasters will be the dynamic, high-value, experiential communication and leadership skill developers. All right? What are the keys that you have to walk away with in this role? What is your club growth director trying to achieve? The first, we develop a marketing plan and then execute it. We build and support new clubs. We strengthen existing clubs. We provide resources for struggling clubs, and that's part of what the retention chair is all about. And we ensure that club dues are paid. Most of you are aware that you can start paying the dues for your club about 1 month before it's required. That's when it opens up. That's when you should be prepared to submit your checks. No one needs an ulcer waiting at the last minute saying, where's the money from this club? Is this club renewing, not renewing, what's happening? So it's important to get the ball rolling immediately. And I'm speaking to the area directors and the division directors. That should be a top priority. We're coming into that in September, but by September 1st, certainly, August probably, you'll be able to start submitting money. But you can start collecting the money in August. You probably won't be able to read this, all right? But the good news is I have a handout. The only thing I want you to understand is this whole thing can be summarized with the purple. More. What does Toastmasters expect of the club growth director? They expect more, and they want us to follow this arrow going up, which means more clubs, more members, more money. Those are the things that they expect of us, more. And I want to let you know that there is a plan.
Slide the lectern over just a bit. It's a good place to slide. Thank you.
This wasn't my part of my job. Okay.
Need a
They
union.
want- What was that?
Needed a union.
I need a union. So they want more. Are you ready to deliver more? I have handouts for all this. This is how we're going to implement it. You'll see in the slides and in the manuals the word team. The expectation of your learning in this role is that you're going to learn to put together teams. And we have a plan for that. This is how the club growth director team is functioning. There are 4 main areas. There's the coaching and training and monitoring of coaches and mentors. There's the establishment of new clubs that will be done in the US by Patricia and in the Bahamas by Kevin. We're going to track what's going on. Then you have an outreach, Toastmasters brand to be exposed through outreach and community projects. And when I spent time in the Bahamas are very good in doing outreach programs as clubs. We need to do a better job in the US. You can teach us. Okay? having fun doing that.
Yeah.
And we have the club retention chair. Now, what the diagram shows, and I can give you a paper copy later today, is that we need and replace the word team with DST, Division Support Team. Those teams do not expire when someone gets on it. They are available to be ongoing, enduring, evergreen. They don't have to say, okay, I have this position, I have to give it up in a year. No. District support teams are like the farm team for leadership, training, and speaking. If someone says, I want to be a DTM this year, because that's the last year I can work in the traditional program. Well, how is that done? I only have a club that meets every other week, and we have 50 people in the club. My chances of speaking are not that great. We have a plan for that. What's the plan? You join the DST for your district. And as they go around and they move the positions of speaking around, you can be the speaker for those demonstration meetings and start knocking out speeches. That's one way. Another way is joining a second club. When you do that, two things happen. One, you have twice the ability to speak and do roles. And secondly, the district receives 2 payments instead of 1. And what's the goal? More. All right? If everybody just belonged to a second club, what would that do to the district? If everybody belonged to a second club, our numbers would shoot through the roof. What the expectation is think of 3, 5, 8. Distinguished, select distinguished, and presidential. 3, 5, 8. We want to increase. And we do that by reducing loss. That's what the retention chair is all about. But also, we do it by bringing in new clubs, new memberships.
Andy,
Yes,
it's 579.
5, 7, okay. It's in that ballpark. We're actually, we are shooting for 10%. Our team is shooting for 10%, so we have it covered. All right? The dashboard, who has not been to the dashboard? Who has not been to the dashboard? Anybody? Great. The dashboard is your friend. The dashboard allows you to know where you are. Yesterday, when I looked at this and made the slide, we had 355 days left to this year. Every day should have an accomplishment that you're shooting for and accomplishing. Every day. You should know where you are. You know from here, turn around for a second. This works, yeah. That we have 169, 8334 for membership. And you see that, you see that the growth is 3% and distinguished club 75.76. The answer to all of these things is more. We want more distinguished clubs, more payments, and more clubs. This is the dashboard report July 11th, and it shows that we have 7 districts, and it shows that we have 28 areas, and we have 169 clubs. If every division director and every area director championed the creation of a new club, that would give us 35 new clubs. Now people are saying, what am I smoking? 35 new clubs. I looked around Toastmasters. There are examples of people that put in 45 clubs in a year, 30 clubs in a year, and think of the story of Roger Bannister. When he said the 1 minute mile, they said it's impossible, 4 minute mile. I'm from New York, we do things faster. 4 minute mile, they said it's impossible, nobody can do that. Once he did it, within the following year, multiple people accomplished the same thing. So we're talking about aspirational goals, the same way John F. Kennedy 50 years ago said, we will go to the moon. And 50 years ago, we went to the moon. What I'm saying to each of you is we need more. And if we shoot high and don't make it, at least we're moving in the right direction. If you shoot low and get it, what have you accomplished? So let's shoot high and be aspirational. You may or may not be able to read this on the screen, but I want you to go to your dashboard and see where you're, for the division directors, where you are right now. That's your starting point. You're going to be running to put more in. If you want to have a presidential distinguished division, you need to put in more. Your base needs to go up. Know where you're starting from. Same thing with the area directors. If you want to be a president area director, then you need to put in more. Here is a tip from Toastmasters. Yes, I'll take all questions at the end. 50% of the goals that are accomplished by December portend where we will be at the end of the year. Therefore, I want each of you to really focus in on more with a time frame where the finish line is December. Don't wait to finish this by June, December. Now we're going to go into the set Toastmasters slides. Some of these will be duplicate. They want us to make sure that we covered the mission and goals, an issue called club builders and club building cycle. I'm going to introduce you to those concepts. Again, the session objectives are to understand the relationship between establishing new clubs, Toastmasters, and district's missions. Identify which district leader is responsible to help establish new clubs. We've helped you with that because with that diagram that you couldn't read, it says that the division support teams are working with each division director. And we're going to reach out and make sure those are teams that are your farm teams, your multi-purpose SWAT teams, your demo teams, that we don't have to wait. We've already put in and in process of putting in 4 new clubs. And that's in a month. What we need to do is say nothing's impossible, aspirational, and when you have a club that's coming on board, you need mentors. So we need to have people identify, say, I want to be a mentor, or I want to be a coach. And I need to be trained, because it's not just that you have some letters after your name to be a coach. A coach has to be someone that does what? Has to have a broad knowledge to help a struggling club. You don't know what that club's problems are, but you on the team need to know where to go to get the answers. And it may be a phone call to Toastmasters. It may be a call to your division director. It may be a call to myself or any one of my team members. These are important. If we put the resources in on the front end, then when we get notification from Toastmasters that there's a club in Miami that wants to start, we have a team ready to go in Miami. And the team's going to be divided in Team A and Team B. Team A will be teams that are available during the day. Corporate clubs, you might notice, meet at lunchtime. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you can't be on the demo team for the morning, but you can be in the evening after work. So each team will be 20 people per division. And the expectation, aspirationally, is every division will put in 2 new clubs every month. Toastmasters' mission will empower the individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. The district mission is more. New club support, all clubs in achieving excellence. This diagram of 6 is the process as envisioned by Toastmasters. You have the identification of a lead. You don't have to wait for Toastmasters International to send you information that there's a new potential club or someone asking. Matt Kinsey taught me that if you look at the placement of a McDonald's, I don't know if this applies to the Bahamas, but it does in the US. Every McDonald's has a population catchment area of about 35,000. If you look at the map and say, there are no Toastmasters clubs there, and I see 3 McDonald's in the area, then you know that that area has 35,000 per McDonald's, and you can go out there and find a club and establish a new club. Then after you had the contact and made the presentation to the contact, then you do a presentation demo meeting, answer their questions, charter them, and follow up. That's the 6-point process. We've said this before, U clubs offer Toastmaster benefits to more people. The key word is more. Toastmaster branding wants to make sure that everybody knows about Toastmasters. It's been around almost 100 years. Do you think somebody would know about that? Establishing U clubs provides improved communications and leadership. Area and division directors have support to build clubs, and that support will come from us in a collaboration with each of you so that we have healthy DSTs. They use the term club builders. These are people that build clubs, not rocket scientists. The district director has club building responsibilities, and that is to receive the club leads. I actually have direct access to that. Confirms the alignment of new clubs, which is their responsibility. And now we're going to do a slight game. Look on the bottom of the slide. You'll see 4 named individuals or categories. District director, club growth director, club sponsor, and club mentor. I'm not going to read these, my voice is going, but read through this, and when you finish reading through that, I'll ask, which one is this applying to? Which of the 4? Anyone that's a fast reader can raise their hand and tell me which one they think. Yes, CC. I can't hear you. Club sponsor for that one. All right, next one. Read through. Don't leave any line out.
I can't see those questions back here at all. Maybe it's back in the room.
Recruit, train, and supervise club building team members, club sponsors.
Janine, we're gonna send out a,
It's not me, it's them too, so you're losing your training.
club building responsibilities. Recruit, train, and supervise club building team members, club sponsors, and club mentors. Receive leads from district director and world headquarters. 3, assist with prospect visits. 4, help plan demonstration meetings. 5, attend demonstration meetings and pre-charter information meetings. Which one of the 4? District director, club growth, club sponsor, and club mentor. Which one of those? Everyone agree? The answer is B, club growth director. Thankfully, a shorter one. Club building responsibilities, receives leads from the world headquarters and confirms alignment of new clubs. Well, actually, there's 2. A is their answer, but the club growth director also receives leads, but they do not do the alignment. The alignment comes from the district director. Club building responsibilities. 1, guide clubs through the first 6 to 12 months. After 6 months and 1 day, you can send your information to TI so that you get credit for being a mentor. Mentors apply to new clubs. Coaches apply to clubs with 12 or less members, therefore identified as struggling. Ensure club officers understand duties and how to perform them. Familiarize club officers with Toastmasters education program. Familiarize club officers with Distinguished Club Program. Which one?
D.
C.
D, Club Mentor. Once all that's done, you charter the club. There is a complicated application process. You have an application, and then you have Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, Form 6A and B. And you have to be meticulous. If you leave out a line, you don't do a signature, it'll bounce back. You want to make sure that you're reviewing every line anything that's not filled out, put in a not applicable or some other thing. But if you leave it blank, it'll be bounced back. You always need to follow up, and we will track what the mentors and coaches are doing. The coaches in particular, if you want to get credit, you need to be turning in, and the president of that club needs to be turning in a monthly accountability form. No form, no credit.
That is not correct.
That's our choice as a district.
That is not NTI required.
Okay, it's not NTI required, is correct, but we want to hold people accountable. When people, using the model of Pathways, when Pathways gave you a year of district credit for being a Pathways guide or a Pathways ambassador, they specifically had criteria. If you did not keep that criteria and accountability to Toastmasters, you didn't receive that credit. So we're trying to kick up our game. Is it required, as Brendan says? No. But we want to set a higher bar, a higher standard, and to know when there's a problem. If people are not turning in their forms, how do we know whether they're actually attending the meetings? How do we know they're helping the clubs? So we're trying to go set the bar a little bit higher than Toastmasters. We want to have advanced warning and notification of what's going on. That's why we're doing it this way. And then we review the whole process, because we're supporting everybody from the appointed coaches and mentors, the new club, and we go through all of this. In closing, the club building is basic to the mission of Toastmasters and the district, and you see the relationship. The district may establish club building committees and teams. What we're doing is we're calling those teams DSTs, because we want to work with each of the division directors and the area directors at the level of division and areas and the clubs. The area division directors have opportunities to assist building efforts, the club building efforts. We hope that all of them are involved. We want every club to reach the presidential, and in order to do that, you have to do what? More. You have to increase your numbers, increase your membership. If you want the district to be president, you have to do those things. These are some of the responsibilities for me and my team. For Janine, recruit, train, and supervise club building teams. Receive leads. Chair the district marketing committee. As you saw from the 5 keys, we developed a marketing plan. And we do demonstration team meetings, and we assist clubs in reaching excellence. In club building responsibilities, these are the things that we're going to be doing. Follow up on leads, serve as contact for demonstration meetings, recruit members in new clubs, show new clubs how to hold meetings and elect officers, submit charter paperwork, fees, and dues, plan charter presentation meetings. Club building responsibilities from the club mentors. Guide clubs through the first 6 to 12 months. Ensure club officers understand their duties. Familiarize club officers with Toastmasters educational program, and familiarize club officers with Distinguished Club program. Help and retain members. And Jim Barber is working specifically on that issue. Club building efforts are supported by the teams. We're going to identify leads and prospects and look forward to all of your help. The leads come in many places. World headquarters is just one. We're going to contact all the appropriate leads, follow through, set up demo meetings, and establish new clubs. The resource for building a Toastmasters club is item 121, which you can download. That brings us to questions and answers. Yes, Phyllis?
Well, my question was back at the dashboard.
Yes.
The last time, what you showed said through July 11th. When I looked at the dashboard yesterday, or at least on the club part, it was still showing last year. Do you know when the new dashboard, the empty dashboard will be available?
According to my conversation with TI yesterday, they're shooting to have it completed and updated by no later than July 26th.
Oh, right, okay. Thank you.
It may be before then, but that's what they said. Any other questions? Yes?
Does that include the realignment? Can we see that on the 26th?
It'll be everything. Right. Yes?
So to establish a new club, should I contact you or Patricia?
We work together.
Just either one.
Yeah. We talk to one another almost every day. Any other? Who do we notify to give a lead to establishing a new club? And you can contact any member of the team, Patricia, myself, get the word to us. All right? Yes.
Do we go through the division director?
I would like the division directors to be aware of what you're doing. And that way they can support you in what you're doing. All right? Austin, you got a question? Or you just bobblehead?
I'm just in affirmation, my friend.
Well, and then the leads need to be turned over to the corporate team,
Right.
so that we know what's going on instead of it just occurring.
We want to have the communications going in both directions. As a team, we need to know what leads are going on. We need to know what activity. We have a spreadsheet for that, where we're gonna track every contact for every lead that we have and what's happening. We don't want anybody to be left behind. As we have said, and I said it back in May, Nemo residio, which means leave no one behind in Latin. All right? Anything else before we all melt up here? We getting air?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.